welcome to episode 605 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether a storm recently swept through your town or not, we're here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And we drove to the office today on roads littered with tree branches.
It was legitimately wild.
We had winds clocked in some areas at 100 miles an hour.
I woke up at about 5:30.
Yeah.
And
that was storm number 2.
That was storm number 2. And I just sat and looked because the way the trees outside were shaking, it was I've never seen anything like it.
It was
These are
spooky.
enormous trees and they were just being tossed around in the wind.
Like toothpicks.
Tossed around in the wind.
I've never heard, so here in Minneapolis, we have a siren that goes off if there's a tornado that's spotted. And we had our siren go off without tornado spotting. It was just because of the straight line winds last night.
Oh, a tornado. They didn't go off in my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. It was spooky. I didn't know they did that. And they're like, yes, winds 70 miles an hour or above straight line. We will sound the siren. And there was no huge damage or anything to my home, but it was just the area around it. I saw enormous trees in the middle of the street and stuff.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the humidity was 80% plus in some areas here.
It was disgusting. It was a full 10 degrees hotter to feel.
Yeah, the heat index is 105 or something like that. In Minnesota, I did not sign up for that.
No, it was a very weird day. But I did see one of the most incredible. Did you when the sky was deep pink and orange?
Yes.
And then there was a rainbow.
It was a lightning storm rainbow.
It was a lightning storm rainbow with this sunset storm sky.
It was so cool.
It was really gorgeous.
Really kind of BA for weather, honestly.
Yeah, it was really cool. But also during the storm, I definitely have to go find whatever it was that I heard cracking and coming down because I heard a tree snap. I heard a tree snap.
I went in my basement and had my 2 little kitties sitting next to me, and we were playing some Magic Arena. So all in all, a great
Good storm. Good storm.
Yeah.
I was playing Wingspan with friends.
Oh, okay.
But every once in a while, I would have to be like, wait, hold on, everybody.
Are we going to die?
I'm just looking out the window, the sky for a second. Just checking in on it.
Yeah, it was spooky times. I love a good storm, though, but that one was scary.
It really was.
On the show today, I'll tell you something else that's scary. Bands!
Are they, or do they resolve scary?
They take the scary away.
They take the scary away.
Yeah, we had some huge banned and restricted announcements come down from Wizards of the Coast this week. We're going to talk about them.
Not just some of the anticipated ones.
Right. We had a whole laundry load.
Perhaps unanticipated. Wow. They did that. They said, if we're only doing laundry every once in a while,
we're going to do the whole
we got to do all the laundry.
Set it to bulky and let it go, because there's a lot to talk about in that department, as well as philosophy behind the bans, because a lot of what they've talked about, in particular of one of the hugest bans of this announcement, has left a lot of people kind of scratching their heads and saying, how exactly do they do their laundry over there?
Yes. Excuse me.
So
in what manner do you do your laundry?
Yeah. We also have huge news about how competitive play in Magic is going to kind of reshape itself moving forward.
Very exciting. I think that there are people out there who are hopefully going to be very pleased with this. And I'm going to give you a little recap of the first chapter of the Duskmourn Story.
Very excited.
Duskmourn Story time.
Because as you know, we all have 2 wolves inside of us, Bloomburrow and Duskmourn.
Yes.
And
those 2 wolves are confused.
we've had the Bloomburrow wolf.
Why they're in the same person. They're like, why?
And I'm so excited for Duskmourn Wolf to come out.
Very excited.
So fans of GPs, get excited, because we might have something that's very similar to that coming up here pretty soon. We'll talk about that later in the show.
But before we get into any of that, we have some people to thank, and first and foremost amongst them are you, the listeners, and especially the patrons of this show. Thank you to everyone who is a patron over at patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Are we going to say your name this week? Well, we are if your name is, drumroll please.
We are if your name is Daniel.
Daniel!
Thank you, new patron Daniel.
Thank you so much, Daniel. The pun I'm going to say might disturb you.
Wow. All right. Let's go.
But if you were a new puppy in the puppy store, I would adopt you if you were a Cocker Daniel.
All things considered, I think Could have been worse.
Yeah, I suppose.
Could have been worse.
Not great, though. Not great. If you want a fun like that, you just need to donate at $5 a month or more, or increase your pledge before we record next episode. We'd love to have you. We have great benefits. You get access to episodes a day earlier than everybody else. That's Commander Arcade. You get ad-free versions of the episodes on Patreon. You get access to our Discord and a whole bunch of other benefits that you can see over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Come be our friend.
Thank you as well to our sponsor, Card Kingdom, cardkingdom.com/GLHF, the place to go if you're going to go get.
Now there's a slogan.
Going to Card Kingdom.
Getting cards. It was like Max Headroom, kind of like 80s situation slogan there.
Yep. I feel a little like a member of the Looney Tunes.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's another thing.
I'm very Daffy Duck about it. Get your cards at Card Kingdom.
Horrifying. I don't know. Cartoons spook me, so maybe I shouldn't be the best judge of this, but I was...
You're welcome.
I was tooling around their website the other day, and I found a really cool bordered treasure cruise that's in foil, Megan. And I was just thinking about the fact that you should buy it.
Oh, what is it?
It's like the I typed in Treasure Truce. Treasure Truce. That could be a card they make.
Treasure Cruise. This is like my favorite thing to do. Oh, I own this one already.
The one that's like the old border.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah. I bought one of
Time
those.
Spiral Remastered one.
It's really good. I love it.
Yeah, it's the marbled border.
There's something about it. It is so busted. It belongs in an old border.
Yes, it does. Do you have it in foil though?
I don't have it in foil. That's
Do you
a fair
have
question.
$74.99?
No, I don't.
Well, if you do, you can buy it over on Card Kingdom. Just fabulous. Like, I don't know, going through and looking at some of their cards, it's just really cool. Some of the cool singles.
Also, look at this. This is so cute. There's a little pro tip on Treasure Cruise.
What does it say?
Pro tip. This card draw spell is so powerful that it has been banned in Modern and Legacy and restricted in Vintage. Often costing only 1 mana, it can function almost as effectively as the Power 9 Superstar Ancestral Recall.
Wow, what a byline for Treasure Cruise.
And what a lovely, what a great pro tip from Card Kingdom.
Ooh, I wonder if there's a pro tip about Slippery Boggle. Now I need to know.
Wow, okay, let's see.
Slippery Boy, can you tell me if you have something that they need me to know about? Here it is. Slippery Boggle.
Pro tip. Yep.
Okay,
here's one.
The namesake for modern boggles. Slippery Boggle comes out early, can't be targeting by any of your opponent's removal. Hold on, let's submit this to them. We have a correction newspaper. And can be buffed up with a wonderful assortment of auras. It's pronounced Bogle. Wow. I feel
You should feel
targeted.
Personally attacked.
That is.
You're targeted. Can't target this. You can target Maria.
I know I say it wrong, but it's I just prefer to say boggle because it sounds funnier.
It does. It does.
Anyway, that's very cute. You can check those cards and more pro tips out by visiting cardkingdom.com, the place to go to for all of your Magic cards. And let's say thank you to our other sponsor, Dragon Shield. They're a new sponsor to the show, and we are so incredibly happy to have them on board because I've been a huge fan of their sleeves for about as long as I've been playing Magic the Gathering. No matter what kind of sleeves you want, you can get them. You can also pre-order some new art sleeves that they have on their website right now, these 25th anniversary kind of like silvery ones.
Yeah, these are great. They sold out of these in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam. They had them for sale up in Amsterdam if you couldn't get them there.
They look great.
It's very, I don't even know how to describe this art. It looks like a card back kind of, like a bicycle card back.
And it looks a little bit like a lino cut.
Yeah, with a dragon. It looks like it should be 3D. Anyway, those are coming out in September. You can head to their website now and check them out if you're interested. The link is in the show notes or below the video. Please use that to buy whatever you want at Card Kingdom and Dragon Shield. Use code GLHF at checkout for 5% off your order. And if you use Dragon Shield's link, you help out Good Luck High Five, and it's a completely free way to support our show. So check them out. Link in the show notes for all of this nonsense. Become a patron before next episode. Get pun that may be as good as Daniel's Cocker Daniel, but I guarantee nothing.
The more you say it, the
better it gets.
The more I feel about it.
Everyone, there's a ban and restricted announcement that you need to know about. Came out on August 26th of the year of our Grombus 2024. And
some people recently learned about Grombus.
Yeah, in the Discord, yeah. Everyone in our Discord, go find out about Grombus. There's a fact about him that might make you uneasy.
Another reason to become a patron, you can learn about Grombus.
Maria's false god, she's been pulling for a long time. Standard, no changes. Just want to get that out there.
Oh, yeah.
They love Standard right now.
It's fine.
People are raving about Standard left, right, and center.
Oh, okay.
As part of the Magic discourse that's happening online right now. And Wizards is very happy with Standard as well. They say it's in a great place, and they're very excited about a deck that they've seen people trying out, like Rakdos Lizards. When I learned about that, I was like, excuse me, I need to find out more about Rakdos Lizards. I love a good typal deck, and mostly made up of cards from Blue Burrow, which is also very cool, and you don't often see in a Standard format. So Standard just rotated. We're going to see what's what with it when we hit the World Championship coming up in October.
Ooh.
But Wizards very happy about where Standard is right now. If you haven't checked it out, maybe it's time to go play some Standard. But the bigger changes happened in almost every other format. Pioneer, Amalia Benavides Aguirre, banned.
Yeah, Aguirre.
Aguirre. What did I say?
I don't know.
I made a liquid U.
Yeah.
Sorin, Impervious Bloodlord, banned.
Imperious. I'm so sorry.
What did I say?
Here to be the language.
Impervious? Did I say impervious?
Yeah. This is like the time the time that this happened to me?
When?
A couple of weeks ago. You don't remember when I bumbled just like 5 or 6 times during the episode and you roasted me every single time? You don't remember? Maria, that was a traumatizing and memorable experience for me. I'm glad that it meant nothing to you.
I think that's Sorin. I think I've never said imperious. I think I've said impervious every single time.
Wow. Okay.
He's impervious. You can't touch him. He's a vampire. What are you going to do? You don't have garlic. You carrying a steak in your backpack.
Have garlic? You don't carry a steak in your backpack?
What is imperious? Like he's the king?
Yeah. When you're imperious, you're very exacting. You're demanding. You tell people what to do in a very high and mighty tone.
So it's not that you don't have any peers. Look up the definition, please.
Yes. No. Okay. Assuming power or authority without justification. Arrogant and domineering.
I love that.
There you go.
Imperious. What a great word. We've got to use it in a sentence this week 3 times.
Well, you did use it in a sentence when you said Sorin Imperious Bloodlord is banned.
All right, 1 down, 2 to go. He's not impervious, though, I'll tell you that.
No, he's certainly been banned.
He's been banned.
So they said that essentially they've just been looking at the rise of Rakdos vampires ever since February. So it's been a long time. And its metagame share has just been growing and growing. And they believe that it's now approaching levels that they think are problematic.
30% metagame share over the last RCQ season. That's a lot.
That is a lot. And you know what? It's really hard to beat a turn 3 Sorin into a Vein Ripper.
That turns out that's pretty good.
Quite hard. You can't target it unless you have a creature to sacrifice.
Yeah. Sad.
Rough.
They're also banning Amalia, as we said earlier. That's the combo with Wild Growth Walker, which allows you to gain a lot of life and set off a series of triggers that just ends with Amalia being 20 power and then killing the opponent. And they're just like, that sometimes there's certain interactions which cause the game to end in a draw. And that's
which is fun.
Not great.
I mean, great.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
But probably not great for tournament play.
No.
If you're getting like draws because of that.
That also happened during that Pioneer Pro Tour.
Yes, it did. So those 2 cards gone, maybe not forever, but for right now. They said they also considered Treasure Cruise and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. How does that make you feel?
Fable of the Mirror Breaker can leave in every format as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. I don't like that card.
Don't you touch my Treasure Cruise. Don't you touch it.
But the bigger story and the heart of the matter that we want to get to now are the bans in Modern.
Yes, Nadu, Winged Wisdom is banned. And Grief is also banned.
The grief ban is something that I think a lot of people thought was going to happen many, many, many months ago.
Yes, around the same time that they banned Fury.
Yep. And they're like, well, what if we just take out Fury?
No.
Not enough,
Turns
apparently.
out no.
So Nadu. Nadu has been the bane of the Magic community ever since it was, I was almost going to say printed, but honestly, it was before it was printed.
Since the moment it came alive.
Yes, because people saw it and almost immediately, the community is going to find that combo.
Yes.
And they almost immediately realized that it comboing with Shuko was going to create some problems. And sure enough, oh boy, did it ever create some problems.
Oh boy, did it ever.
So... Nadu finally getting banned. There's a bit of a story about this. So right before the Modern Pro Tour in Amsterdam, there was a ban and restricted announcement, which did not hit Nadu.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people were thinking, well, are they going to do it? But it was like a week before the Pro Tour. And so they decided that they could not make that change because it was so soon up until the Pro Tour that they just couldn't ban a card and give the players enough time to replay test before the Pro Tour. So Nadu did not get banned during that announcement window. And now they're taking the opportunity to ban it this time around, but that's why it didn't get hit the first time.
Yeah.
And we had to wait and go through RCQs and everything with Nadu all since then. Ugh.
So, this is such a big thing. Like, Nadu was such a mistake that, unlike usually there's just these paragraphs.
Yeah.
But in the ban and restricted announcement, where they're like, this is what happened, they wrote a whole separate article.
Yes,
There's
they did.
a whole article that Michael Majors, who is the lead designer of Modern Horizons 3, wrote, being like, a lot of it is just like, hey, this is what happened. A little bit my bad.
So, yeah, the leading sentence of this article says, Nadu Winged Wisdom was a design mistake, period.
Yeah.
And Michael talks about how it happened. So the way that it worked with the playtesters for Modern Horizons 3 is that they had a small team of contractors come in to playtest this and had a shorter time window than normal, but were able to spend more hours on it because I think that they weren't working on a lot of other projects at the time. Mm-hmm. And they playtested it. Okay, great. Here's what the original Nadu looked like when they were playtesting it, everybody. It was 1 green-blue legendary creature bird wizard. It was a 3/4. It still had flying. You may cast permanent spells as though they had flash. Whenever a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. So different.
What a reasonable card.
Different, I will say, than the card we ended up with.
What a very reasonable card.
All right, so they play tested it. They're like, this card's fine, whatever. But what happens then, apparently, which I didn't know, was that after the play testing, there are a series of last-minute checks of sets by various groups, and it's normal operating procedure for every single release. And they say it's a series of opportunity for folks from various departments and disciplines to weigh in on every component of the project and give final feedback. And in one of those meetings, apparently, there was a great deal of concern raised by Nadu's flash granting ability for Commander. And they're like, that would be bad. And so they're like, okay, we're going to take that off. And what we're going to do instead is do that other change that makes Nadu completely busted in half, because they wanted to create a build-around card aimed at Commander play.
There are also other things that grant flash to permanents.
Yeah, I don't know why they were so worried about that, but
anyways.
So they decided to change it to make it more desirable for Commander players, because they're like, we want to make this a good card, which makes sense. They want to print cards that people want. I understand that. And then in doing this late in the process, Michael says he missed the interaction with 0 mana abilities, which is what makes the card so problematic. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other folks in the building missed that too, which is understandable. People miss things. People are human. A lot of complexity in Magic and a lot of stuff going on at your job and, any day.
But a lot of people had to be human for this to happen.
That's so true. If we had one robot in there, maybe we would have been okay.
So I just like, they say what we learned, quote, this is both a design and logistical failure.
Yeah, I mean, I have a problem with the fact that after their playtesting, the cards are being changed. I think that's kind of
bizarre.
Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it works like that. Maybe in the past it's been fine because the changes they're making are supposed to be very small.
Yeah.
And in this case, maybe they thought it was small and then they just missed the 0 mana interaction thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a way that's better than that to figure this out, because if you're changing stuff after people playtest it, I mean, That's how Nadu happens. And to be fair, I think it was a huge mistake.
Yes.
So like maybe it requires going back into the laundromat and being like, hold on, maybe we get our
You
clothes.
left the laundromat with your laundry still there?
Yeah, in this analogy.
Okay.
Go
keep
back
going.
and be like, maybe we have to get our clothes dirty before we wash them. Maybe we don't just send a piece of clean clothes to. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. I mean, yes, but I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of thinking that this works. I feel like I can't okay this behavior.
So we got it dirty. Now we can wash it and send it out to the public so they're going to play test. They should play test it beforehand. So I'm curious to know how their, play testing series of events goes after this. Because something pretty big slipped through the cracks.
Returning to the rest of the modern ban list, as we said, Grief is banned. Just too many people play it. It too good.
They said also that grief has been maligned as one of the least fun parts of modern events.
Yes.
Which, because it basically...
Grief is arguably the least fun part of any event.
It rips your hand apart. Being thought seized a bunch of times does not make anybody feel good.
No.
I've seen some people argue online, like saying, hey, who is the arbiter of quote unquote what is fun in modern? Because I would argue that sitting there and listening, seeing people like cast a million, the One Rings is also not very fun.
Well, to be fair, they also did say, hey, we have our eye on the One Ring.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think
something.
That they should make the One Ring only one copy.
Oh, that's what people have said.
Because it's a One Ring.
It's the One Ring.
It
is
just make
legendary.
sense.
You can only have one in play, but
I'm just
you
saying,
think there should only be one
only
available.
one in the deck.
All right.
I know that is against all Magic rules, but I think it's unique enough for it to apply to this one card.
All right.
I'll make the case.
Well, I mean, it's that actually what you're talking about, it already exists and it's called restricted.
Yes, I would like to restrict this in modern to one copy. So anyway, that's something else people are talking about. I don't know the answer to that question, but I will say that
we'll see like what's going to happen. I think that Nadu has been oppressive enough that there's a reasonable argument for being like, let's just see what happens next.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens now. We can reconsider down the line.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it's fair to say that getting your hand ripped apart is amongst the least fun. Like, I'm going to put that right up at the top. Lantern Control is beating it ever so slightly, in which case I would call that kind of deck winning without doing anything. And also taking a long time to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's fine to win without doing anything.
I mean, did you like Lantern Control?
Yes.
Okay. If there's no interaction from the other side of the table, none.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a hill I will die on, in fact. Legacy Grief also getting banned there.
Yes. They're like, hey, Grief plus Reanimate, too good.
Yeah.
In Vintage, Urza's Saga and Vexing Bauble are restricted.
Okay, so that's where we see some restrictions happening.
That's fun.
Alchemy, no changes.
Nothing happening.
Explorer, Amelia, Benavides, Aguirre, banned, and Soren, Imperious Bloodlord, banned.
Also banned.
Wow, I said both of those names right.
Just to reflect Pioneer.
Yeah, because they're basically the same format.
Yes. So they say Explorer will continue to match Pioneer's bans as we work toward Tournament Pioneer on Arena.
I wonder if we'll ever get there, you know?
I mean, I think so.
I hope so. One day.
Yeah.
And so that's the end of the list of the banned and restricted announcements.
All right.
The next banned and restricted announcement is happening in December. Everybody, they let everyone know, like, hey, we're talking about the way that we do these announcements, and they're changing it yet again.
Wow. Okay.
It seems like every time they make a decision about how often they're going to do these things, the next decision is we're changing that.
Yes.
They say moving forward, they're aligning their BNR announcements to the RC and RCQ seasons, allowing them to make adjustments to play environments to ensure the best experience possible for the competitive play pipeline. A lot of P's in that sentence. So that's the new way moving forward. So the next BNR announcement is going to be on December 16th of this year. They don't plan on changing the current standard BNR philosophy, meaning they only want one window for that per year, barring an emergency. So standard, hoping to keep that down to one time a year, December 16th for the other formats, moving at a cadence to match RC and RCQs. So there we have it. I'm looking forward to this clean slate happening in Modern Pioneer, certainly.
Same.
Nadu was a problem and needed to go.
I don't know.
Wait, what?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Obviously, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I think
you were
it's
just
one of the
over
most universally agreed upon things.
You were
Magic
just over
players
here
famously-
talking about laughter control. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a reasonable thing to like.
Well, do you like playing Magic? I hope the answer is yes.
If not, thank you for listening. Anyways, we do know some people that do, so here we are.
We've got news regarding a lot of people have missed the fact that Grand Prix are gone.
Yes.
I'm one of those people.
Yes. Many people are, though, that people.
That people.
Many people are that people.
Great point. And a lot of people have said, hey, we missed Grand Prix. It was a fun, like monthly, bi-monthly way for people to get together around the country, around the world, and play Magic in a competitive event. It was like a mini Magic-Con for those of you who were not part of Grand Prix. Much smaller scale, but there was a large competitive event at the heart of it. The format changed. Sometimes it was modern, sometimes standard, sometimes sealed and limited. And now they're announcing that they're going to bring something back that is a little dip of their toe into the water of doing something similar once again, called the Magic Spotlight Series.
Yes. This is a return-ish.
Yeah.
To the GP structure. There will be 8 Magic Spotlight Series events next year. 5 in the United States, hosted by Star City Games, 2 in Europe, hosted by Fanfinity, and 1 in Japan, hosted by Big Magic.
Now, this is a far fewer than the number of Grand Prix we used to
Yes.
get, which we just said is like, was 2 a month sometimes.
Yes,
Sometimes more.
honestly, sometimes more. It
Yeah.
was like 2, 3 a month.
And,
But hey, do you know what? All right, 8 is more than 0, which was the number that we had prior to this announcement.
correct. And maybe if they do well, we'll get more.
So, Magic Spotlight Series will have a main event, and then also, like Grand Prix of the past, will have side events, vendors, special guests, and more, sort of just depending on the organizer of this.
Yes. So these are 2-day events that are happening on the weekends, everybody. The big event that it's focused around, the spotlight, if you will, is going to be a $50,000 prize pool tournament that has its own promo card and has 8 invitations to the upcoming Pro Tour as well.
Yes.
And upcoming Pro Tour.
So, this, like the Grand Prix of the past, like Maria was saying, there's one format over those 2 days. There will be 9 rounds on Saturday. Anyone who has 18 match points or better gets to come back on Sunday.
Great.
There will be 6 rounds on Sunday and then a cut to top 8. And then the top 8 will play out.
Yeah, this is excellent. Huey Jensen, there's a video of him being interviewed about this, the director of competitive play. I don't know if that's exactly his title or whatever, but he gets into more nitty-gritty details about it, like saying, is there going to be a cap at these tournaments? Are they going to pass down more than 8 invitations? The answer was no to that. I'm interested about the cap thing moving forward, but whatever. I guess we'll figure that out as we go on.
Yeah.
Star City Games hosting these. They're going to be part of SCG Con. So kind of getting roped into that, which makes me excited because it makes me think we're going to get coverage of these events.
There is going to be video coverage of all these events, Maria.
Yeah.
It will be up to the logistics of the host and the organizer. But yeah, there will be live video coverage. How about that?
So it sounds like we're going to get Cedric and P. Sully back in the booth together.
That's right. P. Sully teased.
For
for
these Star City Games events, which I think a lot of people are very excited about.
They also say each Magic Spotlight event will feature a specific theme for the weekend and the main event, but they haven't told us anything about the themes. Wait, no, they have revealed the themes.
No, the themes
haven't.
The themes are like standard, modern.
Well, whatever.
Were you thinking it was going to be like...
I wanted a fun theme.
Bubblegum.
The 80s.
The 80s.
I want it to be a fun theme.
Dinosaurs. You know what? I would be on board for that, quite personally.
That's what I'm saying.
So think about that, Magic.
Give us real themes.
We want a real theme.
Under the sea.
Oh, Under the Sea?
Classic theme.
Classic theme.
Right there for you.
Right from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So the first one that's going to happen...
Back to the Future. Another great theme.
Great. I would go to
We're
that
just
theme.
rolling. Look, I'm just saying, if you want to talk to some people about some real themes for these events, Maria and I have just come up with several bangers
off the
right
top
off
of
the
their
bat.
heads.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't hardly have to think about
Nope.
it. The first one next year, mark your calendars, January 3rd through 5th in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, this will be Foundations.
Yeah.
which is very exciting. Of course, this is like the new sort of eternal set for standard.
So that is a standard event, everybody. If you want to go play some standard down in Georgia, starting January 3rd through 5th, 2025, that's where it's going to be happening. The very first one. I'm so excited to see how these go.
And then we know that there will be a modern event in Utrecht in the Netherlands, March 15th through 16th.
Yes, modern in Europe. Shocking no one. Those two have been revealed. None of the other Spotlight themes have been revealed as to this point.
So what we're saying is Under the Sea
is still on the table. Still on the table for the next ones coming up. But those first two, we do know where they are and when they will be and what the formats will be, modern and standard. Man, we got to go to the limited one.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, you want to see us coming out to we just limited? Better
go.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right, great. It's decided.
I wasn't even fighting you. You're like, yes, and you're arguing with me. All right. I said we can go.
Okay, we're going.
That's what I said. I said we can go.
Are we there yet? I want combos. Yeah, I'm excited for these. I assume one of these coming up is going to be limited.
Yeah.
I would maybe even think maybe two of the 5 would be limited. What do you think?
I think that you're being ambitious.
One of them is going to be Pioneer. I'm thinking of the U.S. ones right now.
Okay, there's 5 in the U.S.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 2 standard, a Pioneer, a modern, a limited.
Okay, you're probably right.
Or 2 Pioneer or 2 I think that we are much more likely to get 2 of a constructed format. Sorry.
All right. Well, the truth of the matter is I do way better in constructed than I do in limited.
Same.
But I do love limited even more. But I was so excited and happy to hear about this announcement from Wizards, and I cannot wait to see how they do. Yeah,
really, really exciting.
So yeah, looking forward to those coming up next year. Duskmourn is almost amongst us.
Yes.
It's going to, the previews are going to kick off this weekend. We'll talk about it next week on the show. But we already have the first chapter of the story. Indeed, all the chapters, ? Or just one right now?
We have 5 chapters so far.
Okay.
Maybe 6 at this point. But I'm only telling you about the first one.
Okay, great. Let's go.
So first, many years ago, on another plane, we know it's another plane because there's 2 suns.
Oh, is it this? Is it? Okay.
On a Tatooine? I don't think so. Oh, I don't think so either. Anyways, but we know it's a different plane. There's a very normal block, classic normal block of houses.
Oh, yeah.
Normal, everything.
At the end of the cul-de-sac, looks fine.
Exactly. There's like leaves, there's houses, everything is normal. I just want to really reiterate
how normal everything is.
Great. Except the weather, which is a little chilly and a little windy and maybe a little grim.
Okay.
So all the houses, classic picket fence, 1-story house, etc. All everything's like tan, green, slate gray. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is sounding less fine the more that you're describing it. I gotta be honest with you.
No, Maria, I'm telling you, everything is fine.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everything's fine.
Go on.
So there is, however, an old house on the corner, and this house is a different house.
Oh.
It's very elaborate, right? There's like gargoyles. There's like a little widow's walk on the roof.
Okay.
There's, it's like slightly crooked. Everything's like a little grimy, a little dirty. There's weeds. There's untrimmed hedges.
Seems fine
no
still.
No one lives here except that a family is moving in today.
Oh.
Right? A family like mom, dad, daughter. And they go inside.
They're looking for a new start on life. This is the perfect place to move into.
And so they all go in, and the daughter is walking through the house. And first of all, the dust is shiny. I just want to, it's just mentioned. The dust is shiny. And all of the doors are closed.
Interesting.
Except when she reaches the basement door, and it's open just a little bit.
Oh, she better go in there.
Well, you know what? She knows that there's something down there waiting.
Oh.
But now we cut back to now.
Okay. Oh, that was in the past. Okay.
That was in the past. Like I said, that was in the past
All
sometime.
Right.
Okay. Now we cut to Kamigawa. Kaido is there. He's sneaking into the Moonfolk, have like storage of a bunch of like different artifacts and relics and stuff, and he's stealing one of Tamio's scrolls from them because he believes that it belongs with Tamio's family.
Oh,
you know,
that's nice.
Exactly. But he like sneaks in, and then the Wanderer is there and was like, "I knew I'd find you here." And he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I need to talk to you." So they meet, and the Wanderer is like, "Nashi is missing."
Oh,
Nashi is, of course, the little like rat folk son of Tamio.
yes.
Who is very good with tech. She's like, Nashi is missing. He's been missing for 3 months, and we didn't really know because, of course, Nashi is a little bit mad at both of them that his mom died during the invasion.
I mean,
I do believe that the Wanderer straight up was the one who technically killed Tamio, although Tamio was at that point big time, you know. Well, I mean, was big time Phyrexian.
Yeah.
So it wasn't exactly.
It was tough all
around. It was
around.
a tough time all around. But understandably, they haven't really been in touch with Nashi much.
Yeah.
Kaido's just been going around getting Tamio's scrolls for the family. But other than that, they have not had much contact until now. And the Wanderer is like, hey, their dad told me Nashi has been missing for 3 months. What happened is this door appeared.
Oh.
And Nashi went through it. Bad times.
Okay.
Like sent drones in first, and for a while they were sending back footage. But then disappeared.
They sent a probe.
Exactly. So
Just a door? Did they say where it was too?
okay, wait, I'm going to tell you. Give me just a second. I have to
Is this an
remember
omen
this.
path situation? Is this just a random 80s door opening up?
Oh, this is like a random 80s door.
Okay. A random 80s door appears. Do you walk through it?
So, no. So, okay. There was a door, and it just appeared in Kamigawa. There we go. It was a door in Kamigawa. He that appeared. He sent through a bunch of drones, and they transmitted footage from the other side, but then they broke. And so he and some friends went through, and they never came back out. And as soon as he went through, the door vanished. So...
Oh, well.
There was nothing.
Lesson learned.
The Emperor says, she reviewed the drone footage and went to where the door should have been, but there was nothing. Only a whisper on the edge of my planar awareness, like something terrible had brushed against our world in that spot.
Ooh, that's spooky.
Anyway, so they're like, yep, let's get some people together. We gotta go. And she's like, oh, but another one of these doors has appeared on Ravnica.
I was like, how are you going to go through a door that's gone?
No, another one appeared on Ravnica, and Niv Mizzet is studying it. And she's like, Niv Mizzet does not care about rescuing anybody. That dragon man just wants scientific information.
He just wants to do science. Yeah.
He just wants to do science.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll collect a team. Kaido goes to find Tyvar on Kaldheim. Tyvar is like a golden retriever of a human being, of an elf.
Oh, yeah. We
of
knew
a planeswalker. It's very funny. Everything that he cracks me up. He's just out there having a great time.
Great. Living his best life.
Exactly. Shirtless fighting wolves. And Kaido's like, hey, come with me. And Tyvar's like, yeah, of course. But like, I can punch things, but you need someone who can shoot at things from far away. Here's my other buddy, Nico. And Nico's, Kaido's like, come with us. And they're like, yeah, okay. I can, throw shards. I can throw shards and stuff.
I can throw shards.
With high accuracy.
With your ability to throw shards and my ability to punch faces with this 6-pack, let me tell you, we can't be stopped.
Yes. Also, it is worth noting, Nico lost their spark and is very sad about it.
Aww.
They are having a very bad time. They're very upset.
Well, now we got all these doors, so.
Exactly. So they all take they all take some omen paths. They arrive at Ravnica, and there's Zamone. Zamone's in college now, and she's also now doing, I guess, some independent study on Ravnica with Niv.
Zamone from
Strixhaven, yes. She's like, I'm in college at Strixhaven now.
Oh, cute.
Exactly. And also doing this independent study research stuff, I guess, with the Izzet. She's on Ravnica, like, hanging out with the Izzet and doing, like, an internship with them. I don't know.
Which guild would you intern with?
Ooh, great question.
I mean, it seems like makes sense.
Yes. Simic, they're going to end up attaching some crab legs to you.
Yeah, you're going to definitely
end
have
up with
legs.
crab legs.
That's how it goes.
I do think the Izzet would be very cool. Probably like the Celestia.
That would just be nice. You'd be studying flowers,
nice time.
Bees.
You could intern with the Gruul, and they'd be like, all right, go knock down that building.
You definitely don't want to intern with the Rakdos.
No.
It'll be fun, but for how long? Until it's definitely not fun anymore.
Yes, absolutely. So anyways, there's Simone. She's there. And then sure enough, they all go, and there are other people there. Like Proft is still there doing exploration. And then obviously, as people have pointed out, Aminatou is there.
Oh, yes, because we will see Aminatou in Duskmourn. We've had that kind of previewed for us, at least in Commander.
Yes. Well, specifically, we know that she is not going to go through the door. Because she's like, I can't go in there because like whatever is in there and my power are like opposites, right? Like they kind of like repulse each other.
Ooh.
And she's like, if whatever is in there like got a hold of me and controlled me, it would be like way more dangerous, right? She's like that kind of powerful where they're like, oh
like,
no.
if I go in there
And that house gets a hold of me, it's over. It's Dunskies for all of us.
Oh, so, I like that, actually.
Anyways,
that's cool.
It is also very cool. So what she makes for them are these little figurines, and they work one time for each of the people who are going
Already
through
sounds creepy.
the door. And if they make a choice and that choice would lead to them dying, everyone else will see like a 1-minute flash of that future, and it will feel real where it plays out where that choice would lead to them dying, and then snap back to like the second before they made that decision and let them make a different one.
These little dolls do that?
Yes. But only one time per person.
One use doll.
One use doll. Let's see. So.
Wow. That's
yes,
cool.
They're called fate
and
shifters.
Terrifying.
They're called
You get the powers of Madam Web for 1 minute.
Exactly.
That's what you're telling me.
Fate shifters. She's like, they're bursts of my power in physical form. They can be used to evade horrifying ends.
Wow.
It is. Yes, it's very cool. So,
all right, I'm going to make the call now. At some point in this magic story, we think somebody is super dead, and then, spoiler alert, it was just a fate shift doll thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, anyways, I'm just going to, here, I'll quote it for you.
Okay.
When you make a choice that would lead to your certain death, everyone nearby who holds a token will see the outcome, feel like it's real, and then snap back to the moment before you made the decision, giving you a chance to make it again. But the vision is short, no more than a minute, and only works once for any single person.
So you just kind of go catatonic for a minute. You're just like,
yeah, I guess.
I'm seeing you die in the
also,
future.
yeah, anyways, it's just very, she's like, oh, also, I'm not going to, like, I won't make you take these. Like, I don't take people's choices away. Like, I give choice, right? Anyways.
Yeah.
It's, and she also says, but if you refuse my aid, at least one of you won't come back. That's certain. Anyways.
Wow.
Great. Very exciting. And then they all go through the door. Oh, Yoshimaru stays with Aminatou. You know, because he was with the Wanderer. The Wanderer's dog.
The puppy.
Yes, the Wanderer's pup. Is now with the Wanderer all the time, which we love, except now where the pup is staying back, so we know pup is safe.
Okay, that's good.
Exactly.
You can't kill the dog. Every horror movie, well, most horror movies know this.
Yes. Oh, there are every time if they break the rule of killing a pet, I am furious. Like
I've
nothing
seen it happen
makes
like
me
twice.
angrier faster.
Yeah, it happened in Smile. Remember that?
Oh my gosh, Maria, I was traumatized.
Yeah. Don't do it if you're making a movie. Don't do it. There's no reason.
There's literally no reason. It's so messed up.
I hate it. Anyway, yes. So is that where we landed on the story?
That's where we are. They all go through the door, right? So we have Kaito, Zamon, Tyvar, Nico, and the Wanderer.
Going through the door.
So
they're going into Duskmourn. Do we know any more information about this plane yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Also, they're like, oh, the doors are not the same as Omen Paths.
All right.
It's its own
that was my other question.
Spooky thing that the house do.
Interesting.
And they're like, oh yeah, it is a house inside, but it's also like in a way like folded space, you know? So it's like it's enormous.
I wonder, is the plane like the whole house?
I think that the plane is the house.
That's cool.
It is cool.
I love that. All right. Great first installment of Duskmourn.
Yeah.
I'm ready for spooky season. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen to them in this haunted house?
I don't know. Bad stuff.
Well, thanks Thanks for coming along on this spooky ride with us, everybody. It's only going to get spookier from here on out. Warning.
Ooh.
As we get into Duskmourn, Bloomborough, we hardly knew ye, I must say. Like I said, this weekend coming up, if you want to keep your ears and eyes on it, is going to be the Duskmourn special preview event that's happening. So we'll have a lot to talk about next week as far as Duskmourn is concerned.
Very exciting.
It's coming out next month already. Like the pre-release is happening on like the 27th or something like that.
Get your cards
The
out.
21st. Yeah. Release on the 27th.
Wow, I cannot believe that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so soon.
Wow. But thank you once again to everybody who actually makes this show happen every week. Those are our patrons. You can become one and be a very special person, a VIP in our hearts and minds over at patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Thank you again to new patron, Cocker Daniel.
Daniel, thank you so much. You're a cute little dog now. Sorry. Not sorry. Thank you as well to Card Kingdom.
Get your cards there.
You can check them out now on cardkingdom.com/GLHF and check out Dragon Shield for all of your sleeve or binder needs. Link to them in the show notes or under this video. Use code GLHF for 5% off your order. I'm so excited to get spooked. I cannot contain myself.
Spooky.
With this set, Mark Rosewater released a teaser of some of the stuff that we are to expect in Duskmourn, including the name of a card that's something like, it's a Children of the Corn reference, and it's like the young ones of the wheat or something like that.
Love it.
And I'm just like, lol. Also, Meat Hook Massacre 2, the sequel to Meat Hook Massacre is the name of a card.
Yes.
Which I think is very, very fun.
I love that.
So I'm excited. I'm so excited, everybody. I'm just crossing my fingers. There's a Suspiria reference. I know it's a little bit outside of what they're kind of going for here, but that's my one true hope for this set.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you next week to talk more Duskmourn. Until then, stay spooky. All right? Do it. Stay spooky.
What can I add? You just kind of keep rolling.
Whatever that means to you. If you're a producer, stick around because we're going to talk about draft and specifically the new hotness in draft, the new hot deck that everybody is drafting.
Ooh.
All right?